bit more challenging. And so yeah, we're going to go to 23. All right, now it's really just like the problem that I did in class. So did anybody actually go to the YouTube site and okay, did it help at all? It didn't? Well, if that didn't help, I don't know if this is going to help either, because I'm going to explain it the same exact way that I explained it in class. But maybe hearing it again, seeing it as a different problem, maybe it'll help. All right, Alyssa, what were you saying?
Whenever I look at the
Yeah.
examples or my notes or something, I just substitute the numbers in so I can figure it out.
Right, that's basically what you do. I mean, you just copy what I just did in class, basically. All right, go through the steps. I give you a series of steps. All right, David, if you could stop that, I appreciate that. Thanks. Just the tapping, that's all. All right, let's take a look at this. And we don't have to necessarily graph it, but I'm going to, just so we can visualize what's going on. Okay? It doesn't have to be real accurate. In fact, when I did this in the other class, it wasn't really accurate at all. But it was good enough to give me an idea what I should be doing and where to put my numbers and all that kind of stuff. So let's take a look at this. We'll do this in red. All right. So let's do this. Let's change that to red, and then we can color code them, all right, and see what we got here. So what do we got? If we're gonna graph this thing. The y-intercept is negative 22. Now I'm not going to count down to negative 22. I'm just going to eyeball it. That's why I say this isn't going to be very accurate, but it's okay. It doesn't have to be super accurate. So the y-intercept is negative 22, way down here. What's the slope? It's 5 over 1. So rise 5, run 1. Again, that may not be the most accurate and drawn to scale, but that's okay. Don't care. All right? Because actually, let's do it like this. Let's go from here to here. And then let's just extend this down so that it looks like it hits both of them. That's close. Watch, if I make that dot bigger, then it hits both of them, doesn't it? Okay, there we go. You got to fudge a little bit on these things, right? Okay, now watch. I'm going to have a parallel line. It's parallel.
Cross country now dismissed.
Let's change this. Let's change this to blue. Make it look a little different. All right, and we'll change this to blue as well, so we can see. Okay. Now watch. The y-intercept is 4, so we'll put the 4 about right there, and the slope is exactly the same. So I just copied and pasted the line so it had the same slope, and it's going to look like that. Agreed? All right, so that's what it should look like. It's got the same slope. It's got a y-intercept right here. Now, what do we do with this situation right here? Well, glad you asked. What we're going to do is, what's that? What is that? Homework? Just hang on to it because I'm going to let people finish it after I go over this. What is this point right here, this y-intercept? Come on, how did I get that point? Let's think. Right, it's at 4, right? I got it because the y-intercept was 4, so it's 0, 4. Sorry I'm writing so small. I didn't leave myself much room. But that's 0, 4 right there, okay? This point right here would be what? 0, negative 22. All right, that's that point right there. Now look, I could do this. I have to draw a perpendicular line. I could start from this point and go perpendicular to here, or I could start from this point and go perpendicular to there. Doesn't really matter. I'll probably start at this one, just because the number's a little smaller. You don't have to work with a 22. It doesn't really make any difference though. All right, so I put it about right there. We good? Now again, this may not be real accurate, because I didn't really, this is not exactly to scale. You get the idea, but it doesn't have to be really accurate. Now what am I trying to do? I'm trying to find the distance of this little line right here, aren't I? That perpendicular line. Well, I've already got one point. All I have to do is get this point. What am I going to call this point for right now? XY, right. And the whole idea, all I've been doing right now is just setting it up. Now, all the work really goes into just finding x and y. If I can find x and y, the distance part isn't hard, is it? The distance formula part of it is the easy part. You just plug numbers in, plug and chug, and you get a distance. It's finding this point is what you want to do. All right? We good with that? So how do we find this point? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to write out the equation of this red line. Do you see how this is the intersection of this red one and this little purple one right here? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down the equation of both of those lines that form that point. You got it? Point of intersection is formed by this line right here, the red one, and this little purple one right here. So I'm going to write the equations of both of those down. So let's do the purple one first. Okay? Let's think about it. Y equals. They don't tell me the slope, and I don't even have to really do much math to figure it out because it's perpendicular to this red one. What's the slope of the red one? It's 5. What's the slope of the one that's perpendicular to it? Negative 1/5. Okay, put the x right here. Now, without doing any math at all, just looking at your picture, what is the y-intercept of this little purple line? It's 4 right there, isn't it? Do you see that? So it's plus 4. Are we good with that? That's the equation of this little purple one. Well, let's write down the equation of the red one. Well, we already know the equation of the red one. We started off knowing it. What is it? 5x minus 22. Now look what I have. I've got these two equations right here, and guess what I'm going to do with those? Set them equal to each other. Now this is equal to y, and this is equal to y. Now I don't know if we'll have enough time or not. We may, but there's a few problems at the end where they don't set them up y equals, do they? It's like y plus 3x equals 17 or something like that. So what are you going to do to make it look more familiar to you? What would you do if it was like y plus 3y plus 2x equals? Do what? Well, not just flip them around. Solve for y, right. Solve for y. That's what I would do, okay? For those last few problems, let's take a look. Number 27's got one. See 4y minus x. What would you do? I would solve for y, wouldn't you? Okay. 28. Look at 28, both of them. 3x plus y equals 3. I would solve for y. Y plus 17 equals negative 3x. I would solve for y. Same thing with 29. On one of those, you have to do it, okay? That's what I would do for those. Once you do that, all those problems are just like this. Would you agree? Yeah. All right, so let's do this. Let's take these two, set them equal to each other, and solve for x and y. Why are we solving for x and y? Because we're trying to find that point right there, that point of intersection, so we can put it into our distance formula. We good? Let's do that. I'm going to come over here. I got a little more room. So 5x minus 22 equals negative 1/5 x plus 4. Now let's just do some algebra. It's basic, straightforward algebra. Solve for x. So I'm going to add a 1/5 to both sides. Now look at 5. What am I going to make that? I'm going to make that 25 over 5x, right? Plus what? 1/5 x. Do you see what I just did? It will be. You could do that in your head if you wanted to. I just wanted to write it down so you see it, okay? So really, what did I do here? I just added this to both sides, didn't I? Now let's take care of this 22. What do I do with that 22? Add a 22 to both sides. And what am I going to get over here? Let me get a 26. So let's write this out. This is 26/5 x equals what? 26. Now how do I get rid of a fraction if it's being multiplied? Multiply by its reciprocal. That's the same thing as dividing, but we never really divide by a fraction, do we? Every time we divide by a fraction, even when you're in elementary school, you multiply by the reciprocal, right? So technically, you've never really divided by a fraction. You always make it look like this. Everybody got that? Okay, that cancels, x equals, watch, 26 cancels, what's x equal to? 5, okay? So we've got part of this, don't we? And now, oh goodness, well, you didn't tell me. Oh well, it's too late now. I'll have to edit it. Doggone it. Alright, let's solve for y. Which one do you want to put it back into? Doesn't matter. You can put it in this one or this one. The 5x? Okay.
So it doesn't matter?
Doesn't matter which one. You'll get the same answer either way. Alright? Taylor says she wants this red one right here, so we'll put it in there. So y equals 5 times x, which is 5, minus what? 22. And this works out real nice and easy. 25 minus 22 is 3. So that's our point right there. So there's our point. I told you all the work was really to find this point, wasn't it? That was all the hard work. Now it's just easy. Now it's just throwing it into the distance formula and we're good to go. So let's just do it real quick and then I'll answer your question. Alright, so let's write down the points. What do we got? We got 5, 3, and what's our other point? 0, 4. Do you see that? I'm trying to find the distance between those 2 points. So plug these into here. So what's distance formula? Subtract, right? 5 minus 0 and what? 3 minus 4. Or does it matter? Doesn't matter what order. So what's that going to be? 5 squared is 25. That's going to be 1 squared is 1. It's all under a square root, so I'm ready for my final answer. Square root of 26.
To get, so can we just draw it out like that and then it's easier to find?
I would do exactly what I just did right here. I wouldn't leave anything out. I would do exactly what I have. Now, do you have to graph it to be able to do this problem? No, you don't. All right, but I think it's a good idea, especially when you're first doing them. All right, you're first kind of getting used to them. I would draw them out so you see exactly what you're trying to do, what lines you're going to use, what point you're trying to find. If you don't have that picture in front of you, it makes it a little bit more difficult. I mean, you can do it. I mean, you can just kind of memorize the whole process if you want to, but I'm not a great memorizer. I like to see what's going on. All right, that's me personally. Gabby?
Never mind. Wait, you would plug in X for one of those two, not the 5x4. That is like the
Right, because these are the two equations. I'm doing like a substitution elimination with these two equations now. Right. Okay? Everybody with me on that? What do you think? Does that help at all? Yeah. I mean, it's pretty much what we did yesterday. Let's do one more for fun, okay? What do we got till? Yeah, for fun. 13. I'm not gonna have I don't have enough time. I only got like one. I only have 1 minute. I know. We already talked about that.
29.
I don't have enough time. I got like 1 minute left.
I must have been
What I'm gonna do is this. I'm gonna let you try the rest of them that we didn't cover, okay? You've got enough now, all right? We did one yesterday. The ones that you didn't get, okay? So if you didn't get them, because a lot of people came in, not particularly this class, but at least the other class, a lot of came in, I couldn't get them, I only did one of them, all that kind of thing. So if you did them all and you got them right, that's great. I'll tell you what, I could read the evens off to you, couldn't I? I haven't done that yet. And then tonight, I am going to give you a little assignment tonight. Okay, this is review for the test. All right, it's a practice test. And it's right in the book. It's page 227. One to 87. That's little, isn't it? Yes, I am kidding you, actually.
You scared me for a
That
second.
still scares me.
1 to 25. There you go, 1 to 25. All right, so there's your homework. Get that done. On those problems we just went over, if you were not able to get them before you came in today, go home, get them right this time, and I'll collect them tomorrow, okay? So I'm collecting both of these things tomorrow. Both of those things should be done for tomorrow. 1 to 25, page 227, practice test. All right, have fun with that.